Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another Tech Tip Tuesday. I'm Stephanie in the Specialist Department, and this week I'm going to be sharing ideas with you for creating effective classroom reviews with Google Forms. So, some of you might be familiar with Google Forms, and some of you may not. And so, I just want to introduce the essential question for this week's lesson, and that is how can Google Forms be effectively utilized to enhance classroom reviews and assess student understanding while also gathering valuable feedback to improve teaching strategies? And so that's a really big essential question, and it's got a lot of layers to it. And so we're going to explore how to leverage Google Forms to create effective classroom reviews. We're also going to look at how forms can be used as exit tickets to assess student understanding and gather valuable feedback. And by the end of this session, you will be equipped with practical tools to enhance your teaching strategies. So why use Google Forms for reviews? It's not the only tool out there, but it's a tool. And so I want to let you know of some benefits to using Google Forms. It's very efficient. It's very convenient. It's easily accessible as the students have access to their Google Drive, and it also allows for automated grading and flexibility on the teacher's part. It gives you data and feedback almost immediately. Google Forms is an incredibly versatile tool that allows you to create interactive and engaging reviews. It's easy to use, accessible from pretty much any device, and it automatically organizes those student responses for you. The data that you collect from these exit tickets and from these reviews can be used to inform your instruction, identify areas where students need more support, and even to differentiate the learning for students. So when you are getting ready to plan a review using Google Forms, I would suggest that before opening up Google Forms, you plan a little bit about what you're going to do. So you want to consider the key skills and the concepts that your students are aiming to master. You always want to refer back to your lesson essential question to guide your review, and then you can work to create and correct any misconceptions that students might have. And so you want to think, what are the most important takeaways from the lesson? What can you do to keep the questions focused and aligned with your learning objectives? So let's take a look at creating the Google Form. Go to forms.google.com, or you can go to your Google homepage, make sure you're signed in to your Sugar Creek account, and then you will see Google Forms. It's a purple little note page here, and you can go ahead and just click on that. Once you do that, you'll go ahead and sign in to a blank Google form, and you will give it a title that reflects the content of the review. So, for example, it might be Unit 5, multiplication of single-digit numbers. And then you can also add a brief description to set the context for the students. So once you go into Google Forms, you can add various questions. There's a list of types of questions. My suggestion is to make sure that you are keeping the same style of question grouped together, that you don't go short answer, long answer, multiple choice, checkbox, drop down menu, checkbox, short answer, long answer, multiple choice, and bounce all around. Keep all of the true false together, keep all of the matching together, keep all of the multiple choice together, etc., etc. You can use the variety of questions to keep the students engaged And for each question, you can provide clear instructions, and you can also use images or videos to help you illustrate a concept. And we're going to get into how you can do that. You also can add sections to break up the form into manageable parts, especially if you're covering multiple topics. And so I'm going to exit out of this, and I just want to take a moment to show you how you can access the answer key feature directly in Google Forms. And so let's take a quick look. So I've signed in here to my Google form, and as I said before, you can title it whatever you would like to title it. We can just put Unit 5 Review, and you can come in here and add the form description to give specific instructions to the students. Over here are the different types of things that you can add to the various sections. And so I just want to add a new question. Once I do that, I can come in here and I can type in what my question is going to be. I can choose the style of a question that it's going to ask, and for this one I just did multiple choice, and I can make this question required, or I can leave the required portion turned off. I also want to focus here on the answer key, and so what I can do is I can actually choose what is my correct answer, and then I can give it a total number of points that I want to count this question. And so once I do that and I make it a required question, the students must answer it, and it will give them immediate feedback, and it will grade it for you as to what your answer is. Once I come down here, one of the great features about Google Forms is that you can actually add videos by going here and adding a video, or you can add an image. And so I chose to focus on a Black historical figure, and I put a picture of an inventor here. And so I'm going to ask the question, what is the name of this important inventor from American history? And of course, you can choose any style of question that you want. I particularly wanted to do a short answer for this type of question, but I can always change it just by clicking on the question. And of course, this is George Washington Carver. And so once I do that, I can again put in the answer key. But one thing you do have to be very careful about is watching out for misspellings, because if you do put an answer key in here and the answer is misspelled, it will mark the question incorrect. And so sometimes for short answer, I want to go back and check it myself, because I will allow for errors in spelling as long as the student knows that the historical figure featured is George Washington Carver. And so let's take a look at that very quickly. You can see that I uploaded the picture here of George Washington Carver, and then I went in after I did that and I added a question to it after I uploaded the picture. It'd be the same thing with a video. Anything that you have for a video tutorial or something like that, you want to upload the video and then the question second. Using forms as exit tickets, you can create really short, focused forms. They don't require a particular amount of questions. You can set the form up for that immediate feedback for both students and yourself, and then you can use it to analyze the data. I would recommend that you look at 3 to 5 questions that quickly assesses the student's understanding of the day's lesson. And those kind of quick questions can include multiple choice or true false on a key concept. It can include short answer, asking the questions of students to summarize what they've learned. It can even be a reflection question, like what part of today's lesson was most confusing to you. And then you set the form up to give the students that immediate feedback, and you can review the answers later and adjust your lesson based on what their feedback is. After class, you can review the responses to identify the trends that you see. Did did most students grasp the key concepts? Are there areas that need to be revisited? And use the data to inform your next steps, whether that's reteaching a concept, providing additional resources to students, or moving on to the next topic. So we've covered a lot of information. If you are interested in using Google Forms and you're not sure the best method to go about it or how you want to formulate it, please don't hesitate to reach out, because I really feel that using Google Forms for classroom reviews and exit ticket not only saves time, but also provides you with really valuable insights into your students' learning. It's also helping to incorporate technology into the classroom. And by incorporating this particular tool of Google Forms into your teaching practices, you can create more interactive and data-driven lessons. So I encourage you to experiment with different question types and feedback options and what works for best works for your student